This, to me, this fighting game is so special because, first of all, let me tell you this. In the history, let me give you a little history lesson. Soul Calibur was never taken very seriously until this game. And the reason is because Tekken was just way too good. Tekken around 3 and then Tekken Tag 1, that shit was like amazing. Everyone loved Tekken. Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag 1, you could walk into a random fucking arcade and there was 10 guys on it. Everywhere. Every Tekken machine. But then, when Tekken 4 came out, a lot of Tekken players hated it. Tekken 4 grew on people over the years in hindsight. But at the time, so many people hated Tekken 4. It had the same effect that Street Fighter 5 had with Tekken 7. And so basically, all that shit that happened caused Tekken to have the opportunity to be in the light.
Thank you.
Right? It allowed Tekken to like shine because Street Fighter 5 was so whack, you know? And then when I think about it, that's exactly what happened during Soul Calibur 2. Because Tekken 4 was so whack at the time, and you know I liked it. I was one of the fans of Tekken 4, but a lot of people hated it. It was like a huge drop off in popularity and competition. So at that time, a lot of people started playing Soul Calibur 2, and then that allowed the game to mature and become really popular competitively. It was it's very similar. Tekken being whack kind of allowed the spotlight to shine on Soul Calibur 2, and it was really cool. But then, you know, that was the end of arcade versions of Soul Calibur, and that was the end of Soul Calibur, to me. The arcade versions of Soul Calibur stopped there. There was a version of Soul Calibur 3 called Arcade Edition, but it came out way after the game was already dead. It was too late. So after that, everything changed. The game at a fundamental level changed. And the reason is because the people... So you know how Tekken still feels like Tekken? You could boot up Tekken 3, and that shit's still Korean backdash. You know, it feels good. Well, that's because Harada has been making Tekken the whole time. It's always been Harada. But Soul Calibur, every other Soul Calibur is made by some other fucking guy. It's some new guy with a fucking turtleneck shows up and makes a new game. So of course it's always gonna feel so different. You know, the original team that originally made Soul Calibur 2, they moved on and God knows what they do. So that's the issue, you know? That's the problem with, like, the way the game feels. It feels so different. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people like the way it feels now, and that's fair. That's fair. The only problem is you're kind of on your own. It's not popular enough. If you ask me, maybe you disagree, but to me, Soul Calibur 6 and none of the other Soul Caliburs, 3, 4, 5, 6, none of them reached a level of popularity that is acceptable for me. They never got there. They never reached that level of like shine that Tekken has, that Street Fighter has, that other games that are premier. It was never premier, is what I'm saying. After 2, Soul Calibur 2 truly felt like a premier fighting game. When it was at major tournaments, it was held at the same regard as the other premier games. You know what I mean? But every Soul Calibur after that has never been that way. It has always felt like a kosuge, like a side game. And it's mostly because of the numbers and popularity. It's not the game itself, though you could say that if the game were more accessible in one way or another, then more people would like it. I mean, the cards don't lie. You gotta like, at the end of the day, you may love Soul Calibur 3, 4, 5, and 6. You may love it, and you're not wrong, but not a lot of people agreed with you. Not enough people to, like, make it a premier thing. You know what I mean? The difference is huge. That event that happened with Street Fighter 5, that event where, you know, it sucked and it allowed Tekken 7 to shine. Everyone was like, ugh, they were doing the Drake thing. Ugh, oh yeah, give me that shit. They were doing that thing. So thankfully Tekken 7 was there. You know, and people just started caring about it.